Hello.
everybody. Welcome to the Cleaner Cast. We're back at it again, and you know what? We got an extra co-host this week because 1 minute Dewar's out, 1 minute in, then Dewar's back in, and then I don't know what he's doing. Dewar, what happened? I thought you were going camping.
I am just like the season that just ended. I am a beautiful snowflake at times. Mm-hmm. I can flake out so quickly, and I'm back ready to go. Had a bit of a camping trip fall through, which is totally fine. An air-conditioned home is much better than, being eaten by a Canadian grizzly bear in the middle of the woods.
Tell me the truth. Why don't you tell me the truth? That last weekend, you were putting on that sweet Dr. Beasley's and you were tired.
So, I mean, the pain was a little bit real. Shout out to my chiropractor, but it's
shout out the chiropractors.
Shout out the chiropractor. But yeah, for those of you, shameless plug, Rick's going to be dropping a video at 7 a.m. Mountain tomorrow.
7 a.m.
7 Mountain, 9 Eastern. It is early because Rick likes to work that algorithm.
Yeah.
You got to drop it when it's hot. And we did quite the job on the old Audi, the old grocery getter. So definitely stay tuned to that over on Rick's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be one heck of a video. You're going to see me sweatier than you've ever seen me. So, I mean, it's going to be a real treat for everybody.
That's right. And we're going to have a recap episode coming down the pipeline when sometime in July with Chris Ricana from Dr. B's, Rick, the madman himself, and his partner in crime, Mr. Dewar here. They're going to recap the whole experience. It might be a 2-hour podcast recapping this event. So
yeah, I don't shut up.
We'll announce that shortly.
Yep.
But EC, how you doing this
doing good.
Friday?
Doing good, feeling alive. We got one more week, boys, and then we're talking about a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Tell them about it.
So the giveaway now until June 30th. How do you say 30th or is it 30th? I don't know how to say. I'm Puerto Rican. Viewer submission. Tell us your detailed stories. Send in your pictures. We have about 5 people who submitted there. So far, we thought it was going to be one dude who's going to win it all. And yes, it was a man. So I'm glad that everyone keeps turning it in. This giveaway is massive. It's big time. Big time. So tell your story at the detailroast@gmail.com. Jamie, myself, and the Canadian Bacon Dewart will get together and we'll read each other. That's so.
We'll read each other.
I don't know
hey guys, we're gonna read each other. No, we'll be reading the emails and then we'll select the one that pulls on the little heartstrings a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we have companies like Drive, DIY, Owner's Pride, IK. We have PNS, and then Dewar's going to do some labels, and then we have some others that are going to be part of that giveaway.
Yeah. Dewar will get those labels too, 6 months from now, a year from now.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll get them eventually.
Better late than never.
That's right.
I don't want them to melt in the mail if they go to a hot climate.
Ooh, looks like Carlos is in for this giveaway.
Ooh.
Hey, send an email.
Send us your YouTube video of your story to the detailroast@gmail, and we'll give it a watch again.
Yep.
I know he's got a real good video recapping his journey through detail. We'll have to have him on the cast eventually.
Definitely.
We see you, Carlos. We see you. We'll get you on here eventually. But there you go. Enter the giveaway. It's going to be big. Anything else, EC?
Yeah, we got one more. So shout out to Joey's wife. She created these mugs. Now this money goes to support her and Joey. Joey just had heart surgery, so she's over him. So give her something to do. Buy the mug.
I'm mugless. It's in the kitchen.
Go to the colymade.com product/detail roast to get a dope mug.
I'll be right back. 1 sec.
Yeah. Okay. Dewar's out, I guess. So now it's back to just me and you again. But anyway, this episode we are getting the funk out. This gentleman has come out with a fantastic line of products to get the odor out and then put some odor back in. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway towards the end of the podcast in our Q&A fashion. Dewar back, so he's going to be keeping track. Oh, he went to get his mug. There you go. Too late now, Dewar.
Hey, listen. It's fine. I just want to approve. Shout out to Eddie for shipping that up to me.
That's right.
It cost him an arm and half of his left leg.
Groceries for the week. It was groceries for the week.
Yeah. So if you have any discount codes for your local Winco or Walmart, please send those Eddie's way.
Yeah.
And, more than he'll get some meat sweats going with some discount steaks that he's been enjoying. So
That's right.
That's right. Ulysses, the maple syrup sweats.
Maple syrup sweats.
Nothing worse.
Because when you get some maple syrup sweats, the interior starts stinking. You get it all over that good leather. You get it in your fabrics. Then you need something to freshen it up. That's when a company called BioBombs comes into the situation. They got ozone. No, they don't have ozone, but they got.
they are the level grounded ozone layer.
Don't say that, Christian.
I was looking at the notes and I read them wrong. But anyway, let's just get the man on here and he can tell us all about it. Christian, welcome to the Cleaner Cast, sir. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Doing good.
All right.
So we got some odors in, getting odors out, got some air fresheners. Dewar's going to keep track of a question at the end. We'll give away your set of air fresheners you got, which recently launched. I've been enjoying one myself. We're on about day 25 and it's still smelling fresh. I'll probably do an update in the morning. I think is exactly day 25. So I'll update you on that in the morning. But Christian, get us started. Tell us a little bit how you get into the game of smells. How does one get into the smell game, as Eddie has in the notes over here?
Yeah, it's definitely a unique start for us. Back in, I guess it was 2007, my buddy of mine and me had started a detail company doing interior restoration services, like odor removal and stuff like that for car dealerships. So we built up a brand locally outside of Philadelphia. And one of the big things that we did that we focused on was odor removal. And at that time, back in 07, there was really not much around. Aerosol foggers, things like that. Wonder wafers, I think, were just getting started at that point. But we had a bunch of different liquid sprays, things of that nature, neutralizers, things we used to spray in the carpets, put in the extractors, all that stuff or whatnot. But nothing was really working. And then we kind of found these things, I guess, were dubbed as odor bombs. Typically like the same thing that, you guys are familiar with seeing now with the BioBombs product line or whatnot. We started using them. But the biggest problem was, for what they cost per unit, we were losing our butt at the end of every month. We'd have, what's going on here? My thing. We were spending $5-6 grand a month because we'd be, 50, 60, 70 cars deep, doing odor removal at dealerships, and just thought to myself, you know what, there's got to be another way. So, did a little bit of R&R or R&D, some research, found some raw product suppliers, started sourcing some raw materials and learned how to press tablets and manufacture and put stuff out. So, we got BioBomb started about 5.5 years ago. At this point, I think we're at over 500 dealerships. Got more than a handful of mobile detail guys that are using the product. We do a bunch of commercial applications for apartment buildings and things like that as well. But, we've been focusing heavy on the automotive industry for this year. So
very nice.
That's what someone said earlier in the chat. They used one in their basement. I think it had a little mildew smell going on. So it can be used automotive or interior wise. So a great product. I like, these aren't, the chlorine tablet idea isn't a new idea. But I love the way you've packaged it and put it all together to make it pretty simple and straightforward. I like the design of the can, fitting cup holders and stuff. And then you've teamed it up with the oxygenator. And tell us kind of how you came up with teaming it up with oxygenator and kind of how the science works with that.
Sure. So we were actually sitting back during COVID when we got shut down because we had sold the product for about 2.5 years with no aerator whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have any problems with having the product be effective, but one of the things that we noticed was if you guys are familiar with other chlorine dioxide products, because our product isn't a chlorine product, it's chlorine dioxide.
I do the swimming pool hot tub situation. I put the pill in, bloop, let it rip.
Exactly. So, when you get done using the product, if you guys are familiar with it, and anybody who hasn't, the liquid turns like a really deep, dark yellow color, almost like a green. That yellow color in itself is actually the gas trapped within the water. So by nature, scientifically or whatever, the gas wants to stay a liquid. The reason why we get a gas off, or any product gets a gas off when put into water is you have this high concentration of chemical, low volume of water. Mm-hmm. So hence you get the gas off effect. Mm-hmm. When you get done using the product, the 2 hours, 8 hours, however long you decide to leave it in your car for whatever the odor is that you're treating, the liquid would still be yellow. So that in itself, indicated that there's still a bunch of gas left inside that jar that hasn't been extracted yet. so you kind of did some research, digging around or whatever, seen a couple different things online, kind of learned a little bit more about kind of the chemistry and how everything was done. And we said to ourselves, all right, let's mess around with this and see what we could do. We added air. And the first time we did it was an absolute disaster. We got kind of one of those fish pumps or whatever, kept that little bubbling stone on the bottom or whatnot. Not a good idea, man. Little bubbles don't work very well when you try to aerate. So long story short, chopped the edge off of that, threw some nuts on the end of it, put a weighted tube on it, turned it on. You get a nice big rolling bubble effect. But what winds up happening when you use the aerator is you actually break the surface tension of the water.
Right.
And you break the surface tension of the water, you're actually forcing the gas out of the jar almost as if it's on steroids.
Yeah, you don't capture it at that point because the molecules that react. Yeah.
What's really nice is, 45 minutes to an hour, you look at that jar, it's crystal clear. There's no gas left in that water. You could let that thing aerate for 5 days straight and it wouldn't make a difference. You're not getting another molecule of gas out of that liquid. What's nice about that is all that gas is now inside the cabin. So you're getting a stronger, more effective deodorization. In 8 times, shorter of a time frame or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started BioBomb, and maybe I'm not supposed to talk because it's Jamie's show. No, I got the shirt on. Got the show on. Shirt on, right? Superman. You were like, hey, I'm gonna just take cents out. So what made you go with tablets versus creating like an ozone type machine, or what made you go this route? And then what were your failures at the beginning of all this? Like, don't start a company and be successful, right? That doesn't happen.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Listen, we're on like our 4th or I think it's 5th iteration right now of tablet formula. We had a couple disaster ones that didn't dissolve properly. You put a tablet inside the water, you sit for 15 minutes, it's not breaking down. We had tablets that wouldn't stay together and would actually crush. How it is, guys, starting up anything. You run into situations after situations when you feel like you hit a brick wall and you couldn't possibly hit another wall any harder. You turn around and there's a concrete wall right there in front of you, and wham, you get hit by it. So
how you learn.
Yeah,
certainly quite the process, though. It's pretty insane.
Absolutely. It's been a fun ride. It's definitely been a fun ride. There's been some trials and tribulations, but ultimately, like all in all, the feeling now that I get from talking to everybody, especially since we went to the online community, to everybody on social media, there's just so many different great guys that I've met and talked to over the past, I guess it's only been 4 months now, 5 months. Just to shout out a couple of the guys or whatever. Nacho Man Detailing. I don't know if you guys have seen him. He's
that guy's wild. He's on there.
He's done a lot of really cool things. He's really supported us a lot. He was one of the first guys we sent a sample out to that was a mobile detailer, and just completely embraced everything about the product. It's worked for him amazing. He introduced me to the guys over at Detail Dive who are also doing their thing or whatever. Them guys do a lot of great work between X and Matt. Them guys kick ass. Everybody, man. We've sent out, since we started the free sample campaign, I guess it was about 2 months ago. We must have sent out 150, 200 samples. I've talked to almost every single one of those guys, and people have just been very, very receptive. So,
yeah, Nacho was who I saw using it, and I saw the little aerator going. I saw it bubbling up, and I was like, "What is going on in this situation here?" Now that's different. That I like it fits in the cup holder deal, and I thought it was a genius idea. So.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Myself, so.
Hey, Christian, you said something that can we touch base on so everyone knows? Are you still running that campaign? And can you tell us more as to what made you want to start that? Like, because you're eating the cost of all this, right? Like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. FedEx ground is not cheap.
Oh no.
Whether we send something out this big in a sample box, right? Like if we send out one of these, or we send out a box of 50 or 75, this big or whatever, they charge us the same amount of money. It makes no difference. So every sample we send out, man, it's like $14 or something like that, plus the products or whatever that get put out. But I'll be honest with you guys, like we did B2B for 5 years prior to jumping on social media. A big thing for me was the guys on the team were all saying, let's get on social media. And I just was like, no, we're going to keep hitting the doors of the dealerships. We're going to keep building up. I didn't want to get online without being established as a brand because as you guys know, there's nobody tougher than the people in the comments on the internet.
Oh, that's right.
Mike Tyson will never get to them.
The keyboard warriors extraordinaire is what we like to call
Absolutely,
those.
Man.
They're my favorite.
It's like we have to establish ourselves first in order to make sure that when we get into the space of the internet, because the internet's undefeated, we got to make sure we got some victories under our belt or whatever. So, I could proudly say 5.5 years in the game, we haven't met one odor yet that we haven't been able to remove.
Beautiful.
So tell us more about that. So can anybody right now, is that campaign still going? Can anybody right now, is it still
Absolutely.
rolling?
So anybody who's listening right now, if you guys run a detail company, if you have some sort of established presence online, it doesn't really make a difference to me if you got 5 posts, 15 posts, 500 posts, 5 followers, 5,000 followers. That makes no difference. Shoot us a direct message on our Instagram. You can reach out to us on YouTube. You can reach out to us on Facebook. TikTok we're on as well. I mean, just shoot us over a message. If you get in touch with us and you guys have a legit page and you're doing details, I mean, the guys that I personally want to help the most are the guys that are doing mobile detailing, kind of running their own thing. You know, it's been a lot easier to have conversations about the product with guys who do mobile detailing than it is to sell to any dealership that I've personally ever closed or any of my team has ever closed, because the dealership is set up in a different situation. And this is no diss to any of my dealerships that might be listening right now. By all means, I don't want to lose you guys as an account, which I probably won't because we're the best price. But, you know, they have a mindset where it's like, all right, if they're buying a product for $30, $40 or whatever, they're not trying to use the product. They want to have it in stock, but they don't want to use it. You know, the cool thing that we try to do for the guys that are doing detailing is we offer exclusive pricing to you guys. So, you know, if you contact us, we'll talk to you about the pricing or whatever. And at that point, like, you have a pretty high margin to basically clear, you know, 30, 40, $50 for doing a deodorization service. I feel better about selling to guys that are in the mobile detailing game or that run detail shops than I do selling the dealerships. A dealership will sit on a 25 pack of bio bombs for 6 months.
Yeah.
A mobile detailer will run through, you know, Nacho or whoever. These guys run through 10 packs every month, but they understand the benefit from it, because if you're picking up our product for, you know, exclusive price and we give it to you or whatever for it, and you're turning around and flipping it for 50, $75 or whatever, you're making $50, $75 a gig. Some of these guys are bringing home an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month doing odor removal services. And it's not the same as like doing a headlight restoration or an interior engine bay cleaning or something like that or whatever. You're literally dropping a tablet inside of a jar, turning the aerator on, doing the rest of your thing, 45 minutes later, grabbing it out of the car and whacking for the extra $50 or $75 or whatever. So you guys are a lot more receptive. It's been a lot more of a pleasurable experience trying to pitch things to people who actually understand and realize that there can be a serious potential for them to increase their monthly number.
Heck yeah, everybody likes that. So going back to one of the original questions, the ozone versus the tablets.
Sure.
Is there a faster turnaround, you think, with the tablets than there is the ozone?
So, you know, I'm not. The last thing I want to do is knock any other system that's out there that people
knock them. We want to knock it.
As far as ozone goes, I mean, if you guys dig into ozone, people realize it's not really the safest thing to use. Outside of it not being.
So let me tell you this: I don't use ozone because I'm in a smaller garage. I don't want, you know, the kids running around here. I don't want them to run into an ozone cloud, this or that, that kind of deal. So that's why I kind of just avoid ozone altogether, and I do the chlorine tablet kind of deals. And let me tell you a funny story. The other day is I had this little stick vac, right? I'm like, it's a stick vac. I'm letting my 3-year-old play with the stick vac, right? It comes and sets it back there. It's making this funny noise. I start smelling something a little funky. I'm like, what is that smell? And why am I getting a headache? About a minute goes by. I'm like, man, I'm really getting a headache. I look over. This little stick vac has an ozone generator built into it that I had no idea about. Has a big O button. Reach over, turn that off. I go put that up. He's not allowed to play with that one anymore. But
that's a no-no. That's a no-no button right there.
Yeah, it takes away your oxygen real quick and
real fast.
Pretty bad.
So don't get me wrong. Like, our products are like, it's an irritant. You know what I mean? Like, if you sat in the car, it's the same as like if you decide to sit in your living room and set off like an insect fogger while you put it on the coffee table and you're sitting on the couch. I mean, you're not going to be able to stay in the room. You're going to eventually get up and get out of there or whatever. But in regards to like the safety aspects between an ozone and our product is, the biggest thing that at least I see is ozones are a pain in the ass, dude. You're tripping over the cords. You got to set them up. You have to maintain them. But the biggest problem that I kind of see with like the way that they're being mass marketed now or whatever, and Amazon and everything else, there's no regulations on these things. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what type of components are inside of them. And you're basically just plugging something in that messes with the air, you know what I mean? Through adding extra oxygen molecules or whatever. It's just, to me, it's just, I don't know.
It's wild, right?
I personally don't like the burnt chemical smell either. You know, we used to use them, but they leave that funky odor, man. Like that, almost like it smells burnt. And I feel like at that point, you're replacing like a cigarette smell with like a burnt chemical smell or whatever. It's not like you're really fixing a problem. You're just kind of making it smell like something else.
Just kind of masking it.
Yeah. The cool
More
part
than
about
anything.
our product and chlorine dioxide products are, the best part about them is like they actually neutralize the air. They set everything back to zero. So like it doesn't matter if you have like a perfume smelling car or like a cigarette smell or a dog smell. It sets them both to zero. As my man Biggie said, regulates any shade of that ass.
Biggie reference.
Throw it out there, baby.
Look at this. Hey, he did that for the culture. Salute.
Got to give love where it's due, man. Biggie was one of the best.
So would you say this then? Would you say, and this is like, Christian, you just got to be honest here.
Sure.
Right? I go right now at Amazon. Ozone machine cost me what? $380, $390.
Yeah, for a decent model.
For a decent model, right?
Yeah.
What's the benefit? I know you already said it, the air, the quality of an ozone. Would I ever need ozone if I use bio bombs?
No,
never.
No.
Okay.
Never. Would never need to use it. Like I said, guys, we haven't had an odor that we haven't been able to beat yet. I mean, the reality of the situation is depending on the severity of the odor. I mean, we've done biohazard cars. If anybody has a chance, get on our Google reviews and look at some of our reviews from people. There was a guy who left a pack of chicken in the back of his Miata. In the back of his Miata for a week in California sun, went on vacation, came back and could not realize why his car smelled, opened his trunk and was like, oh shit. We had another guy, half of the house burnt down. He wound up doing a full renovation, restudding, replastering, or re-drywalling, painted, did everything. First day he goes back into the house after being gone for a week, comes in, smelled like char wood. Blew his mind, couldn't believe it. Wound up using a couple bio bombs, boom, the odor was gone. We just had a dude last week. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, and he's gonna kill me for not remembering or whatever. But he had a lady whose dog got their period in the car, and she never cleaned it up, and it smelled like death inside there. So he did his full clean or whatever, but it still smelled. You know what I mean? Obviously, dropped a bio bomb in it, and it was gone. I was like, yo, you got to drop a review for me, because like those are the ones that people got to see.
Yeah.
Which also are the same ones that Google, like, ironically, will like flag from us and not put up. And then we have to like go back and do tech support with them. Like, listen, just because we said vomit and 5-star review does not mean that it's not a legit review. You know what I mean?
You said, and I quote, dog period. Never heard that in my life. But listen,
Joy
Walensky, if you're
That's a real
listening,
thing, man.
you can still buy this in California. So it's still you can still buy it in California, right? For all my people in Cali. All right.
Yeah.
Dog
Absolutely.
vomit. Good Lord.
We're working on getting things up in
yeah.
Canada right now. So Bucky, we got you on lock. Once things
cool.
get situated and we get our distributor up there or whatever, we'll be able to pass them out to everybody up in Canada. We've had a lot of interest from a lot of other areas outside of the states. So, it's something we're definitely actively working on and hoping within, the next couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, we should be able to have something set up for everybody. So, right now, samples inside the U.S. in about a month. Anybody who hears this, make sure you get at us if we forget to get back to you, and we'll get one out to you as well. So,
yeah, we've got some funky smells up here. I'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah, they do. We got like ketchup chips, man.
Ketchup dressed, all dressed, maple syrup stains.
I don't know what's happening.
I mean, that's not the worst smell.
Wow.
Burnt bacon.
So we've been through the odor removal step, used the bio bomb. We got it kind of neutralized. We got it all the way neutralized. Now we want to freshen it up, Christian. And recently we came out with some good smelling air fresheners that have kind of taken the internet by storm. I didn't think this little granola bar would be such a view maker, but boy, I posted that granola bar video and people just wanted to know what it was, how long was it going to last, this and that. So tell us about making an air freshener. What's the science behind making a scent that lasts 60 days plus, and walk us through the process.
Absolutely. So there's a bunch of different variations, obviously, guys, of air fresheners and things like that or whatever. And I guess one of the things that we noticed as a company was individuals, and this is no diss to anybody, but people kind of care more about their car smelling good than having their car not smell bad. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So everybody's always like, oh man, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? And originally when we first came out, like, we had BioBomb minis, we did BioBombs. Like we didn't have anything else. And then we got a fogger, we got the lemon fresh fogger or whatnot. And then we decided to go on and decide to do the air freshener bars. But the biggest motivation for the air freshener bars was I'm personally the same way. I like my car to smell good. I do not like the plastic dangling tree. It's just not my thing. So I ripped the whole plastic off, and then the thing only smells for 2 days. Well, like, that's an issue because for what the price of these things are nowadays or whatever, it just doesn't work out. In regards to the bars or whatever, the cool part about them is like, we tested them in the field for a while. Like 60 days is a bold claim for an air freshener bar. But, and I'm kind of a little nervous about it in the sense of like, we tested them through the winter, so it was a little colder, but they lasted 3 to 4 months in the wintertime. So, I said to myself, all right, whatever. They should be able to hit 60 in the summer with the heat. Arizona heat might be a different story. Texas heat might be a
Louisiana
different story.
heat is
Dry
different.
heat.
Hey,
Louisiana
It's about the
swamp
humidity
smells.
here. It keeps it hydrated. It keeps that
That's
thing
right.
going.
Yeah.
It is pretty hot.
James, I'll tell you what, man. When you said that granola bar comment, I'm not lying to you. Every person I talk to that follows your channel is like, yo, dude, by the way, what's up with the granola bar? Every time they say it, dude, I crack up because I'm like, I never put like as soon as you said it, I'm like, that's gonna be a hit. Like I know that's what people are gonna call it, and that's all people have called it ever since then.
So I guess I have a question with the granola bar. That's what
go
it's
ahead.
just. We got to go with it. So once it's kind of had its elapsed life, does it just turn hard, or does it kind of
So
soften
like
up,
when you
or?
first take it out of the package or whatever, you'll notice it's like very saturated.
Okay. Yep.
It's kind of almost very moist. As it starts to dry out, it'll dry out from the outside in. So
Okay.
that's the main reason why we say on the directions, don't put it directly in front of your floor vent, because
Sure.
the air from the floor vent will dry it out faster. You could put it above, you could put it beside, but don't put it directly in front of. And the reason why we say passenger side outside of the driver's side is the passenger side door opens a lot less than the driver's side door does. So you're forcing that extra air in there unnecessarily if you put it underneath the driver's side.
Which obviously this picture was done on purpose.
Yeah.
'Cause, you got the floor vent there, and then you got the
Absolutely.
Behind there, back there.
granola bar.
You got to lead people, man. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
exactly.
put it in front of the
I-
vent. Next thing you
he-
know, like, yo, man, it dried out in 6 weeks. I'm like, all right, well, listen, it still lasted 6 weeks, and you didn't pay attention. So, like,
That's
I'm,
right.
I'm certainly guilty of it. I won't read instructions on a lot of things, so I'm like, I know more than you, and then I don't need instructions. But this case, you do need the instructions.
Yeah. Also,
Jane,
one
how's yours
bar.
holding up, man? How many
Holding
days
up
out
great,
are you right now?
smelling good. Also, one bar is 2 air fresheners. I put the whole bar in there. Christian hit me the day 2. I was like, hey man, you might want to go break that in half, or you're going to be smelling a little too fresh in there. So I went out there, broke it in half, stuck the other half back in there. So you kind of get 2 air fresheners for the one bar. But mine's rolling into day 25. Tomorrow morning I'll do an update. But I just drove down the road today and smelling just as fresh, smelling good, still going strong. And like I said, we're in the middle of summer, so that's not helping out at all. So we're still doing good.
I'm really happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that.
I got an idea for you, Christian, because I drive a Tesla
Eddie.
because I'm bougie.
I wouldn't have guessed a Tesla, man.
Oh,
Hey,
I thought like like a
Eddie-
Chevy Tahoe, something like that. You know what I mean? Like
I
a
can't
big
afford
boy
a
truck or
Tahoe.
something.
No,
Eddie drives a Tesla because too many people recognize him at gas stations. It just wastes his time.
Yeah,
so
boy.
just got to charge it at home.
I drive a Tesla because when they see the fat person come out of it, they're like, "Oh my lord, mom, we could get this for dad too, right?" Because big people shouldn't be able to fit in cars that small. But look, I fit just fine. So I got a question for you. So I buy these scents for my Tesla because if you guys understand, Teslas have these cabin filters that don't last a long time, even if you get it redone. Oh, they funky, bro. It smells like cheeks. So I have to buy these Tesla things that you have to buy online that go inside of the vent because Tesla air conditioners are one large piece. You stick it in the vent. Do you ever?
I have to know. Do you have to be blue check mark to get those, or do you?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a Tesla is it's the Honda Accord with good credit scores. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So, would you ever come out with something that we could put in the vent for Tesla users? So think about the mesh; it goes right under the vent between the.
So if you wouldn't mind, right, get a photograph over to me after we get off the pod, and let me kind of look at it.
Okay.
I do a little bit of digging myself or whatever, but I mean, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to come out with something like that. I mean, with Tesla being as popular as it is, kind of makes sense. So I
they
appreciate
charge
that,
a lot
Eddie.
too. $30.
Listen.
$30 to have my car smell like evergreen, and I'm like evergreen, but my wife loves it. $30.
Huh.
So
Really?
yeah, $30.
I sent you some BioFresh bars, didn't I?
Yeah, but I want it she wants it in the vent, bro. It's not me.
Put it under the seat. She's not gonna notice the
No,
difference.
she
It's
notices
discreet
it.
under the seat, bro.
No, this ain't like buying something on Amazon. The box comes and you say, "I'm sorry." She sees everything, dude.
Look, crumble up the granola a little bit, throw it in the vent, and then when you turn the AC on, it keep some in her face.
See, Eddie, what you got to do is you just got to get a vent phone holder, print a picture and stick it on there, and then put the biscuit under the seat.
You guys,
and then
cancer made her like hot guy. Like she sees everything. She's like, "Why is that bar under the seat? Pick it up as dirty." She's like,
"Yeah." Hey, if she don't like the crumbs, they also got some Bio Clean Air lemon aerosol versions. Tell us a little bit about the aerosol can and the lemon fresh scent.
Sure. So obviously, we tried a boatload of different scents for that. I'm very particular, so I didn't want to bring to market like 5 or 6 different scents on that stuff. Lemon, in my opinion, I think you guys probably agree. Citrus and lemon is always like a symbol of clean, you know? So to kind of like get to the culture that wanted a fogger, I wanted to be able to provide a fogger to people. You know, obviously anything you guys see online, if you're in the detail game, all you got to do is hit us up. We have special pricing for you guys outside of what you're seeing retail on the site. We do bulk orders and stuff like that as well. But the nice part about the foggers are, man, if you just kind of just hit it in a car real fast, it does the job. It doesn't last as long as what I would say typically I would like to have something last or whatnot. But you know, I do feel like the lemon fresh, out of all the different things that we kind of tried and tried to work out, that actually was one of the ones for me I felt like that stuck the most. And it left the best, you know, taste in my mouth, I guess you could say.
Like you're saying, it's really clean, so it really almost gives you off like you know, it finishes that cherry on top. My good delivery spray almost.
Yes,
to,
yes,
you know,
yes. A lot of guys that buy from us that work at dealerships and stuff like that. It's a very popular item because it's easy for them at the end to just pop in, give it a quick spray, pull the car around, and deliver it to the customer.
I like it. And like you were telling me, you just give a couple squirts. You don't have to, you know, fog the whole situation out.
Dude, if you drop one of those things, because our bombs, they're probably. I mean, if anybody's familiar with the Meguiar's are like 2 ounces. We do 5. So I
never heard of those things.
I'm saying, you drop 5 ounces of product inside of a vehicle, you'll be able to smell it down the block for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I used to nuke my truck with that. Used to nuke it up.
That's originally that's all we had though. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, like when we first got started in the game, I mean, we had a variety of different foggers or whatever. Big D was one of the ones we used to use all the time back in the day.
Hashtag BDE.
Like a really funny smell to it, but like it did the job of getting rid of cigarettes, and it has a really bad name. Really, really bad name. And I don't know how they haven't changed that yet, especially with the way the cancel culture is nowadays.
Oh,
you would think that one will be just out of here, dude.
Yeah, and you got a couple of extra little deals here too that I thought were just like little kind of you know, here's some little things to keep you happy.
Sure.
Once you talked me through them, I was like, oh, these are actually really good ideas. So walk us through the deodorization tablets and the little cleaning cloth.
Sure. So we have BioBomb Minis. BioBomb Minis are basically going to be the opposite version of what like the BioBomb is, in the sense that like it's a small aspirin-sized tablet, you know, probably about that big.
That's a big aspirin, bro.
Oh, listen. There you go. All right.
I just saw this. I was like, got him. That's huge.
So it's about the size of an aspirin tablet, but it's a small amount of chemical, large volume of water. So in this particular situation, you're going to take one of those tablets and drop it into a 32-ounce spray bottle. So at that point, you're creating 100 part per million solution. It's very safe. Won't leave any residue. You can spray it on any surface. The only surface that's going to give you a hard time is going to be glass, and that's only because it's going to streak. It doesn't have the alcohol in it to be able to kind of, you know, do what glass cleaner does or whatnot. But if you have like tobacco all over the insides and windows, by all means, you know what I mean? Spray them down, wipe them down, just hit it with Windex afterwards. But the nice part about that is the BioBomb Minis actually create a surface deodorizer, cleaner, and sanitizer. So you can basically spray down panels, pre-charge a microfiber towel, wipe down the panel, follow up with a dry towel as you will with anything else, and it'll basically remove, it's like 99% of all the stuff that potentially could be on the surface. So ultimately, if you cleaned a car first prior to doing a BioBomb treatment with the gas off method, using the minis could potentially save you the extra cost of doing the actual BioBomb treatment. Because we've had a couple guys, especially over the past couple of months, that say, dude, I just got done using the minis. I don't even have to use the BioBomb at all. So there's a couple different ways to use the minis. Obviously, the first one's to put it inside of a 32-ounce spray bottle. The second way to do it, which I probably shouldn't say right now on the podcast because it's probably going to get me in trouble, but you could actually put it inside your favorite APC, and it'll supercharge your favorite APC.
Now we're talking.
Now I'm just saying.
Hey, Christian,
we know
that's
the last. I'm not saying nothing else about it because I'm going to get in trouble eventually for saying that.
Jamie is a bit of a mixologist. In the
I'll
garage,
take it from here, Christian.
Man, it's going to be. He's going to have the Food Network knocking on his door. We got granola bars. We have supercharged freaking mixologists in there. He's going to have an espresso martini air freshener.
I'm telling you, it supercharges the heck out of your stuff.
Wow.
And then the third way to use it, which is actually, in my opinion, the best way to use it, is to actually drop it inside your steamer.
Oh, I can't do that.
Because inside your steamer is basically going to create the same solution that you would spray in a spray bottle form through steam. So you're going to get the benefits of what the steam gives you, which is obviously breaking up the gook, killing the bacteria, all that stuff or whatever. But additionally, you're spraying all those microscopic little particles all over the textured surfaces, and you're getting a real nice adhesion, far better than what you're going to get through a spray bottle. And then obviously you're wiping up anyway with a microfiber. So it's pretty much, to me, that's the best way to use it. And I always tell guys, if you got a 32-ounce steamer, drop one tablet in. If you got a 64-ounce steamer, still drop one tablet in. Get used to using the product and up the dose as you need to. But realistically, like I said, you're at like 100 part per million solution when you mix it into 32 ounces compared to 9,000, 10,000 parts per million on a gas off. So, I mean, you're exponentially safer. You're not going to get that same like irritant in your nose when you use the product, the minis. The minis are very passive in the sense of you'll smell a little bit of what's like a chlorine smell. But outside of that, it's nothing that's overpowering, nothing that's going to be kind of bad for you to breathe in. You don't have to worry about any type of like, levels or anything like that. But they're really cool. And then the other product that we have that you just pointed out, Jamie, is actually, they're called Pro Tabs. And basically what these things are is, again, Eddie, this is for you. Tiny little coins, right? You got one right there, Jamie. I got one right here too.
Right there.
Oh, dang. Don't put those in the bathroom. Mix them up with your.
So basically,
tablets.
what they're gonna do, and I'm gonna sacrifice some of my beer right now just for.
There we go.
Oh Lord, let's have a moment of silence.
Live science experiment, everybody. Hashtag arts and crafts.
Hashtag arts and crafts.
So when you wet them,
Christian Biobomb.
What happens when you wet them is they basically open up.
Oh my!
It's like
I gotta get this one a little wetter. Hold on.
Wait, did he just use beer to activate a tampon?
Yeah, I think so.
So basically, what it's gonna do is it's gonna open up and give
5
you
o'clock
a
somewhere.
Nice size towel like this. And if you guys can get in there and check that out, this is 100% rayon. I'm like dripping beer all over my Mac and shit now. 100% rayon. But what's nice about it is this won't rip. You know what I mean? You can pull on this bad boy. It won't rip. But what's cool is you can pre-charge 10 of these things or whatever in a wide mouth jar, drop 4 or 5 ounces of your favorite solution in there, keep a lid on it, bring it out to your details. And when you go to get into a car right away and it's got grimy stuff on the cup holders and stuff like that, or on the dashboard, on the door panels, whatever it might be, you don't have to use your junk microfibers and throw them out when you're done. You can actually use these, throw them out when you're done, and then use your junk microfiber.
Does it leave behind? Can I ask a question on that? Because that's kind of end of it. Can I use it on screens, infotainment center?
Yep.
And then what kind of cleaning power does it give?
Well, I pull out good microfiber for the infotainment screen.
Yeah, I mean,
cup holders.
Literally, it won't scratch. We actually have a couple of my buddies who buy these things regularly, actually buy them mainly for their wives to take their makeup off because they enjoy using these more than they enjoy using like the cold cream and the pad things or whatever, These don't irritate you, dude. I take them out when I go hiking with my dogs and stuff like that, pour a water bottle on them, using them to wipe my face down.
You lost me at hiking.
Summertime.
You lost me at hiking.
That Eddie, for hiking, it's walking in the woods.
I have no idea.
And I've seen some
Spanish people don't belong in the woods, bro.
I've seen some airlines use a similar thing with some hot water, and they give those to the the coach passengers that need to wipe their face. The bougie first class get an actual towel. And
so the official name for the product, I mean, there's a lot of different varieties out there, but they're called compressed cloths. I mean, that's pretty much what they really go for. So they use them. They're used a lot, like REI and places like that stock them a lot for the same purposes. Like I just said, when you go walking or in the middle of summertime, or if you got to wipe food off your kid's mouth or whatever it might be, you got a water bottle, you pour this, you get yourself a nice wet, clean towel. It's not going to irritate your skin or anything like that. But outside of that reason, we use them in the detail business. They work really great for breaking down.
I think Jamie will just go to the mailbox in the swamp heat, and he'll need one after to dry off.
I have to keep one on me.
You can just activate it with the swamp sweat.
Yeah, it'll just eventually just unravel, and then I'll just
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, you got something?
Yeah. I have a question. Can we go back to a comment you said earlier? Because I've been thinking about it. It's been marinating for a while. The first tablet we talked about that you said it was aspirin size that you mentioned. You said a phrase, and I just want to bring it up so everyone's aware. You said I could put that in an APC and spike it. Would it help like an APC, like PNS, that's not real good? And then what kind of cleaning power does it give? Like what kind of cleaning power are we seeing with
Eddie?
Spike?
Listen. I'm already public enemy number 1 to PNS in regards to like their odor removal dock.
We'll use ONR. We'll use ONR then because they're coming out with
perfect. Because I'm not knocking PNS. I want to meet Rennie one day.
PNS.
I don't want to fight Rennie. I want to meet him. You know
all right. PNS makes good stuff, but they're okay. Let's talk about ONR, right? Power Clean. From 2019, they sell old stuff. So
it's pretty good. Well, hold up. Well, stop selling my good Power Clean. I don't know what color or what Power Clean is these days. When I was using it, it was real good.
Yeah, it was good. So was ONR.
It was great when it first came out.
Yeah. But just saying, an APC that's not that good. Someone is in the middle of a pickle, right? They have these in the bus or in the car. They go to AutoZone. They grab the McGuire's. They grab whatever they need to get things done. What kind of cleaning power are we going to say Spike? What does that mean, Spike?
So it's going to supercharge it. Basically, you're going to get the deodorization power. You're going to get the cleaning power from them. And you're going to get that sanitization effect.
Okay.
So you're going to get. So right now, guys, like we're working on our EPA certifications. You know,
nice.
We're not officially cleared yet. So I can't necessarily make certain claims, but the product does a phenomenal job at getting rid of stuff that shouldn't be on surfaces. I mean, that's kind of like the best way I can put that for the time being. But it the best way to put it is it supercharges your existing cleaner. It adds to it. It doesn't take away from it. The one thing you will notice that it may take away from a little bit is if it's a fragrance-based thing, you might notice the fragrance might not be as strong.
Sure.
It's not going to kill it because it's only 100 part per million, but it might dilute a little bit of the fragrance that they have inside the cleaner. Outside of that, everything else is going to be supercharged.
Okay. So for most interior cleaners, it's gonna make them better, in my opinion.
Listen. I mean, the biggest thing about interior cleaners, dude. I mean, you guys know you got to be safe with that stuff. It's got to be a very mild solution. That's the beauty. The beauty about the minis is we tested them and used them. So we still have our detail company. We use the minis. We use BioBonds. We use the foggers. I mean, everything that we sell, we still use. I wouldn't personally put my name or our name on anything that I don't personally feel like works.
Right.
One of the guys, we were in a live a couple weeks ago, and one of my clients jumped in, and that's the thing he said that really stuck with me. He was like, yo, man, like the biggest thing that I love about you, Chris, is like you don't endorse anything that's bullshit. If it doesn't work, like you won't remarket something and try to sell it just to make money. It has to work. And I guess like our core function is like kind of being that way as a company, Like our thing, like we're selling our product a lot cheaper than other people offer it. Everything we sell is pretty much cheaper than what you find anywhere else online. But there's a kind of a reason behind that. Like to me, it's about building up the volume, I mean, you guys can, I'm sure, attest to this. We just got done talking about ONR. Like in the beginning, you gotta base everything off of quality. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna make your name for yourself is gonna come after you create a quality, you come up with a quality product, and people talk about it. As long as you stay on that same path and you don't let your head get too big, you don't start watering things down, you'll be fine.
You're talking pillow talk to me now when you say ONR. It brings joy to my life.
Maybe quality has dropped, but that's might be for a next week's podcast. Come tune in for the detail roast. It's going to be a fiery one, everybody. But anyway, Viewer, I think we're in time for some Q&A action. If you got some questions chimed up, and giveaway question.
We'll answer a few questions here, and then we'll pop the giveaway question in kind of midway through.
Okay.
We like to tease the folks around here.
That's right. Viewer show at this point, so we got followed by his rules.
Yeah. So Jared Kratz, interested to see all the applications of this product. I used it once when cleaning out my old musty basement after it was flooded and worked perfectly.
Yeah, that guy. Beautiful.
So
I mean, clean. Take the smell of a basement. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, basements are a big deal. Jared, actually, I know he from what I remember had, I guess it was Ida that flooded him out because he had put some pictures up on Instagram or on Google about his basement after he used the product or whatever. We had a lot of flooding out here when Ida came around. But obviously other applications in regards to you could do vehicles, you could do closets, you could do bedrooms, you can do RVs, you can do buses, you can do dwellings, crawl spaces and basements. You can do, I'm trying to think of some other places.
Anywhere that gets musty, really.
Dude, really, I mean, anywhere that there's an odor, you have some type of funk, we have a solution for you on some level. If you have to spray a surface down and clean it, I would say use the minis. If you have to, we have room deodorizer kits, which basically, if you go online, the only difference between those and the vehicle kits are we have a different set of directions on there that are catered more towards obviously being able to use it in a home application. I guess that pretty much answers that question, though.
You got some musty friends, squirt them a little bit.
Yes, we got
listen, questions. You can use the minis. I use the minis. One of the biggest things I use, I have 2 basset hounds, and they smell like hounds, especially after it rains. And it's been raining all day here, so like it's pretty houndy in my house right now. When they go out, I spray their beds down real fast with a little spray, and it literally instantly just kills the dog smell.
Love it. Fantastic idea. I'm gonna have to squirt Bubba a couple sprays of that next to my scene.
Yeah, we've got some love for the products there for sure, which is super awesome from Bobet Auto Detailing. Let me see.
Nice. What's up, Bobbit? How you guys doing, man? That's my buddy Tanner. He just came on board a couple weeks back.
Oh, right on. Monica Woodland, we love BioBombs for the car moldy basin that we used to have. So kind of a lot of off uses, if you will, but still very much on uses.
Yep.
And then at Ulysses, Jamie wants a Tustin scent bomb.
Right.
And then we're talking about.
So we're actually thinking we got one more product in the works for the BioFresh or for the BioFresh bombs. As of right now, we think we're going to call it Dope Soap, but I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
that's a dope name.
I
think we're going with Dope Soap.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about Canada. That's definitely in the works.
Yep, Canada's in the
works.
Which
is wonderful.
Beautiful.
So from Bobet, Chris, how would you advertise this product for customers or to customers from a detailing standpoint? How do you advertise a car smells better?
That's a great question. The biggest thing I say to people, right, and I said this to a couple of guys we were talking to over the past week, it's kind of an offensive thing if you tell people like, hey, we offer an odor removal service, your car kind of stinks. So like it's kind of a really good idea to go with something like interior cabin reset, interior air quality, reset, something along that lines where it doesn't make it sound like you're telling the person that they stink. You know, that's the way that I would advertise it towards customers. Another big thing, Cooper Tire just did this huge survey about, I guess it was 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago now. They surveyed a ton of people, but long story short, on average, Americans spend 18 days a year in their car. Can you believe that?
I can believe it, man.
18 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of time, dude.
That's 18 days of most people driving around in a stanky
If
car.
you're doing maintenance washes, things like that or whatever, you chop that in half. That's after 9 days. That's every 6 months. As far as I'm concerned, if I buy a new car, I'm dropping one in every 6 months to a year anyway, because the longer you let things fester and smell inside there or whatever, the lower your air quality becomes. And I'm not saying that our product wouldn't fix a car, because we've done 1970, muscle cars, whatever. We've done a whole variety of different older vehicles, but to keep on top of that is really nice, because then you're kind of never really letting your car get out of control. Yeah. So as far as the maintenance thing goes, for what we sell the product for you guys in bulk to, it's really a small add-on. Even clearing something as small as $20, guys, if you make that off the top of the deal, if that's covering your supplies that you use at that dealer, at that particular person's house, and you go and do 3 more details that day, and you cover the cost of your materials and your waxes and polishes and stuff like that or whatever, dude, why not?
So you called it cabin reset. I think that's a dope name, right? Like
I like that cabin reset service.
$50, get your cabin reset service.
You're like, well, what does that do? And then that's the point where you can kind of break down and kind of teach them how, the actual gas works. We didn't really get into too much of that with the podcast or whatever, but ultimately, as the gas gets released into the air, the cool benefit about chlorine dioxide is it's both an oxidizer, which an ozone machine is, and it's also a reducing agent. So it can take electrons or give electrons. So it's very selective in what it chooses to remove as far as odors go. But if it's not neutral, it's out of here. And what's cool about chlorine dioxide is you actually, with our product, you're able to permeate surfaces like this fabric in the seats, the carpets, and things like that, where you won't necessarily get that same effect through using an ozone machine.
Yeah, I think
so. Speaking of,
I'm gonna call it the big deodorizing energy service.
Yep. And speaking of machines, Nick was asking here: are the tablets faster than a machine?
Absolutely. So if you use the aerator, I've had guys tell me that they only need to keep it inside the car for 15 minutes. I refuse to say it's that short, but I've had guys that literally are like, dude, in 15 minutes, I yank that thing out and I'm out the door, good to go.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
if you, do
important
it
'cause, like,
without, if
I've-
you do it without the aerator, you know what I mean? Typically, the treatment time is going to be anywhere between 2 hours and like 8 hours. And I always tell people, if you're buying one online or whatever, and you're paying the cost for the product or whatever, to me, you can never over-treat, you can under-treat. So it's like if you're paying for the product and you're putting it in your vehicle, put it in at the end of the night, drop the tablet in, leave it overnight. There's no reason to like rush to take it out within 2 hours. Let it, the longer you set it and forget it, the longer it stays in there, the longer the gas is working. If you're not using the aerator, you want to keep it in there as long as possible, especially if the odors are super bad.
Yep.
Very cool. And I think there's a kind of a lot of people kind of thinking this. I mean, obviously there's difference with no film on anything. Cleanest, most odor destroying product out there. Which, I mean, depending on what you use, sometimes you can get off gassing on windows or, you know, even just different materials.
Sure.
But even with, you know, some of the really popular marketed sprays for your carpet, you know, if you're using I have heard that a lot of them are oil based. I mean, that was news to me, and that they more so attract dirt, right? So it kind of negates what you're doing in a sense, and can almost cause more work for you.
You got to be careful what you use to clean carpets with, man, because if you use something that that stays in the carpet, it's going to attract more dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
All about neutralization.
Yep. So before I get on to the next question, we're going to bring up our giveaway question here, and I do have the answer. So how this works is that everyone's going to see the question, and then the first answer that I see that is correct is going to be winning a little prize.
Get your fingers ready. I ain't seen Mr. Belinsky around.
He's not here, so you're going to win.
No, he's too busy getting his steps in. But he might surprise us. He might just drop a win in there. So the giveaway question that we have right here. Question: how many scents of BioFresh air freshener are there?
Let's see. There's cherry. There's
O&R.
We got the Swamp Brew.
There's a
Cocoa
Fresh
Lime
AF. I like Fresh AF a lot.
Dope soap doesn't count. It's not out.
That one's gonna be hot. I'm excited for that one.
Was a new car scent?
Oh, there we go. Okay. All my comments is loaded up. So here we go.
Damn,
First
a lot of them things hit.
Detailing made simple. There's 4.
Hey.
Congratulations.
There we go.
So, get your pack set right out.
Detailing made simple. Just DM one of us, Jamie or Christian. We'll get to the plugs after the episode here, and definitely get in touch. So congratulations to Detailing Made Simple. Next question is from Super Auto 2K, Supernatural, whatever you want to call them. Are the granola bars like a fiberboard?
Yes, that's actually what they are. They're a fiberboard. What happens as they dry out? They'll leave a little bit of, I guess you could say, like crumbs almost. Yeah. It's nothing that doesn't vacuum right out. You know what I mean? Right. We're actually looking right now into getting a bunch of kind of mini bags, like a little sachet bag. You can kind of pull a little drawstring on. We'll just include with every purchase or whatever, just so that people can kind of keep it enclosed.
For the wives out there that don't want to see a granola bar in the seat.
I was just gonna say, for guys like Eddie, you know what I mean? Gotta make sure they explain where things come from and why they're underneath the seats.
Hey, I'll call my wife right now. She'll tell you she doesn't want to see granola sparks.
That's a shame, man. I would love to have her be committed, man.
Yep. In Focus Photography, I got to try this in the wife's car. Always has takeout and never opens the windows. I think if you're getting the Five Guys Cajun fries, this is a must. This just come in the box with it.
Or start cooking at home.
Realize if you pick up a pizza and you let that thing sit in your car for 20 minutes and you only leave the windows open, you're gonna smell that thing for like 3-4 days.
Raunchy.
Yep. And our good friend Nacho Libre, my bar is still going strong 1 month and still going fire. I hope it's not on fire. I hope it's just going well, not on fire.
Guys, we had a car. Speaking of pizza or whatever, we did a van at a dealership for the detail company probably about 2-3 months ago. Dude, I'm telling you, it was like an Italian food delivery van or whatever, like a Nissan MB200. Dude, it had no floors, rubber flooring, 2 seats in the front, and a headliner for half of the vehicle. Dude, I'm telling you, it smelled so bad. So bad. It was unbelievable, dude. I just could not believe the food could smell that bad after being traveled in every day. But, obviously we bombed it and it got rid of the smell or whatever.
And I mean, that kind of ties into the next question from my guy Kirby, who's I believe in the Houston area. Does BioBomb work on work trucks to get rid of smoke smell? If only vinyl interior and no carpet, just a headliner, which, like you said, it seems to kind of nuke everything.
Yeah. So obviously, guys, we recommend that everybody details the vehicle first. I will be honest with you and transparent. I got a lot of buddies that are contractors that literally stop by all the time. They're like, "Yo, dude, give me another Biobomb." And these dudes like eat, fart, piss in the truck. I mean, they're Gatorade bottles in the truck that you don't want to touch. You know what I mean?
Oh,
God.
And they're not detailing the car before they decide to set off the Biobomb. They're setting off the Biobomb because the wife's car is going into the shop and they got to drive the wife around for the weekend and they don't want the car to smell like cigarettes and God knows what else. You know what I mean? So
Hey, I got a question.
it absolutely will work in a work truck.
I didn't start this, but it's been on my mind. Is it smell permanent if I use a Biobomb? Is it gone until the next issue? Or
Yeah, so basically you're setting the cabin to zero. So when you set the cabin to zero, any new scents that you introduce, which is a good question, they will kind of be like the prevalent scent, like the prevailing scent in the car. So if you go and pick up a pizza after you do a Biobomb, your car's gonna smell like pizza again or whatever, because that's what happens when you do that.
Okay.
What you're doing with the Biobomb is you're resetting the interior to zero. So what's really nice is whether you use a BioFresh bar or you use your favorite deodorizer spray or whatever it might be, your spray is actually going to go further and be more effective because it's not battling all the other bacteria and odor molecules in the car because they've been neutralized. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. I was standing here thinking like he says cigarette smoke. Is it a week, a day? Am I gonna smell like? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So D were delivering calzones in his Nissan Leaf.
Yeah,
Next delivery, it's back to calzones.
I'm trying to be like Eddie and charge him with things at home because I don't want to go to a gas station.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just bringing up the next one here. Yeah, I know Bobit said that he thought he was first, and we just kind of what we've seen, unfortunately. So
that's all right. Bobbitt's lucky, man. He's one of my new clients. I'll take care of him.
There we go. There we go. So it's
Tanner's trolling. He was like 8th.
Yeah. G Davis was a little overzealous with guessing 69. So, but he's
pretty close.
Oh, there's always one, guys. There's always one.
And my guy Kirby again, kind of following up. Are Biobombs USA made?
So our raw materials are not sourced in the U.S., unfortunately, because there's no access to them here. But they are manufactured and distributed here in the States. Perfect. So raw materials we get overseas, we do everything here, put them together, press them, stamp them, get them out the door.
I mean, you're pressing them together, so I'd say that's
very cool. And then, last kind of comment question before we get to the plugs and wrap things up. Matt Bronco, my grandmother had a gallon of milk explode in her car. She told me after a month I pulled the carpet, but the smell was on everything. Sprayed everything with the minis, then used the Biobomb. Smell is gone. So I think that's testament because milk.
I'm trading the car in.
Level.
I have milk in my car, trading in the next day. I'm not even touching it. It's going to the dealer.
Dude, there's some of the smells that are inside vehicles are just unbelievable, man. It's almost like you get into a car sometimes and you're like, man, is this person like a hoarder at home? You know what I mean? Like, how can one car smell so bad? I mean, dude, we've done cars over the years that have like, I'm sure you guys might have seen them too. There's like gnats and flies and stuff like that, like growing from larvae inside vehicles or whatnot. I mean, it's just, ugh.
Yep.
Yeah,
definitely.
A lot of vehicles come in and you're like, I don't even ask questions. We just take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough sometimes. But Eddie, you got anything on the way out?
Just make sure you support Jamie at the Cleaner Cast. I lied. That's no longer here. Is it the Creator Stash? Hey,
I'm still using it though.
R.I.P.
Hey, we'll take a step back. Everyone, Jamie's switching the way he does business. Links. I'll support him. Jamie the Cleaner. Hit the subscribe, the like, and follow Biobombs at Biobombs.
Yeah, I'll throw. Got to throw some Biobombs links in that bad boy. But Christian, you got anything on the way out? And tell us where we all find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can find us on all the social networks. Biobombs, pretty much is the handle for everyone. Every one of them. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We just started a YouTube channel. We're actually going to be putting a lot of new content out. Just kind of introduction videos, how to use different products, things of that nature, whatever, a little bit more long form as opposed to, the short form content that you find through a lot of the social media sites or whatnot. Outside of that, obviously any one of you guys that are in the chat, anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us, shoot us a DM. I try to get back to everybody personally myself. Just to, try to create that connection or whatever. One of the things that I like to kind of do is, make sure whoever's dealing with us and buying product or whatever knows that they got somebody they can rely on a regular basis to get back to them or whatever. Outside of that, guys, I mean, Jamie, Eddie, Bucky, I want to thank you guys for having me on. You know, it's been an honor to spend time with you guys, man. You know, considering we're a little fish in the big pond in regards to the detailing world or whatever, man, it means a lot to us. You guys gave us a shot to get on here and kind of spread our story and get a chance to promote ourselves. So, you know, shout out to you guys very much, man. I appreciate that very much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Problem. Great products, great story. I knew after a phone call, I had to have you on the podcast. Tremendous.
That's what's up, brother. I appreciate it. Yo, Eddie, what's up, man? You were talking a lot of junk over there about Jamie and stuff when we were on the phone before. You going?
Yeah.
You seem kind of docile today compared to.
No. I can't roast him on his channel. I have to wait until next week. But I was going to make all the videos first before him, but he keeps showing the granola, so I'm too late. But the other video I got coming. I got it coming on.
You send me a granola bar that has the new car. It has a scent called Fresh AF on it. I'm throwing that bad boy in there immediately.
Very nice.
Testing this stuff out. But anyway, there you go. I got the bio bombs linked in the bio, Christian. It was absolute pleasure.
That, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in on this one. Dewar was in, then he was out.
Yeah.
Now he's back in. Dewar, got anything on the way out?
No, all I'm saying is definitely, again, thanks you to Christian. And then, with the giveaway and the DM at BioBombs to get some goodies if you're in the U.S. And then with our giveaway, you have till the end of the month to shoot us your story. Next Friday. So I'll be here for the roast and looking forward to it. And everyone have a fantastic weekend.
The giveaway's going down. And then, Eddie's going down. It's going to be a good time. Next Friday, detail roast. So tune in. It's going to be a good time. And we'll see you next week, everybody. See you later.
See ya.